I'll answer your question in a second, sir.
Okay.
We should see more turtles when the sun comes out. Now these are ones getting ready to go in. The other ones should move. I put some crazy glue over there this morning. One should stay there. These are painted turtles. They're typical freshwater turtles, and you can find painted turtles like this throughout the United States. Other type of turtles we have in the area would be red-eared turtles, sliders, and snapping turtles. We have some alligator snappers in this waterway right here that weigh well over 100 pounds. And there's a gator you said in front of us. And these are small gators right here. The biggest one I saw today was about 8 feet long. The biggest one out here we know is about 12. Oh yeah, we go. This gator right here, if you look at the tail of this gator, it's at the farm tail. Actually, it's not the farm. It was attacked when it was young, lost part of its tail. It's eyeing everyone up. They're like orange.
Like, when I get bigger, I'm going to eat
you. If you put a life vest on, you're in double trouble. Now, I mentioned that we only have one type of alligator in the United States, and since I mentioned that, that remains the same. But on this swamp tour, here at Jean Lafitte Swamp Tour, you're going to see two types of that one type of alligator. You're going to see a left-hand alligator and a right-hand. You've just seen both. First gator we saw was the left side, right? Now, folks, of course, that's not true. There's no such thing as a left or right-hand alligator. A few years ago, I had a boatload of biologists, college professors, PhDs. I mentioned about the left and right-hand alligator. You know how many of those fellas and ladies took pocketbooks out for the writing that information down? And I had to stop them. I said, there's no such thing as a left or right-hand alligator. I'm just telling you that as a joke. They didn't know they were writing it down. I guess one of them is going to publish that information. Okay, let's keep going forward. Now on the left side of the boat, you look at the land, not the trees. In the far background, the grassy area, that's marsh wetland. Marsh can survive in any type of water, freshwater, brackish water, or salt water. You'll find most of Louisiana's marshland near the coast. From the coast, going about maybe 20 miles inland. And in those areas, you will also find Louisiana's first line of defense against a hurricane. And it works like this. For every mile of marsh wetland in which a hurricane is passing over, that hurricane is going to lose 1 foot of the wall of water in which it's pushing in front of it. Katrina had a wall of water close to 30 feet high. It's that wall of water that will remove everything in its way. Whether it's grass or a building, doesn't make any difference. But marsh wetland will absorb the water. But the problem is we're losing so much of our wetlands. Up until last year, we were losing about 24 square miles a year. At one point, it was so severe that by the time a swamp tour would begin, and by the time it would end, Louisiana will have lost the size of a football field of wetlands. That's how severe it was at one time. It's a problem that can be fixed. I'm going to just tell you this. You can hear all you want on TV. It can be fixed, and it can easily be fixed. The restoration of the wetlands. The biggest block in our way, the only thing that's stopping it is politics. Simply politics. Gator on my left side. All right. Don't even political part of the story you're going to hear. That's over.
Hello, baby.
Where's it at? Oh, that's a small one. Yeah. You know, according to scientists, alligators can live over 100 years. 100 to 150 years. Now, I know high school biology books. When I was in high school back in the 60s, I taught high school in the late 90s. And in all those books, they have 50 to 75 years. It's changing, not because the alligator is changing its style of living. Information is changing. We're getting better and more information about the alligator. I mean, they've been around for 175 million years. So I can understand them living 100 to 150 years of age. When they're first hatched, they're 5 to 7 inches long. And alligators from that day will grow approximately 1 foot a year for the next 4 to 6 years. After that, they grow very, very slowly.
Like people.
Straight ahead. One straight ahead.
One straight ahead, all right.
Don't run it over. Don't squish it.
Which is going to be a right or left hand gate? Right. All right.
Big one. It's a big one. Oh, it is a big one.
We also have left and right hand turtles too.
Oh, whoa. He's a little fighter.
Go with that?
Hop on. Yeah, okay.
I don't want him on here.
Well, they get bigger anyway, huh?
Ooh, anybody got a chicken sandwich?
Hey, Al.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that one is a lot. This one here, folks, I would say this gator here could be, oh God, 7 to 9 years old.
That's it. Wow.
And they mature anywhere from 8 to 13 years of age. But this alligator is not a mature gator. Look at its tail. See those yellow bands circling the tail? That's a sign that the gator's a juvenile. When they mature, they will lose all of those yellow bands. Now this alligator is not big enough to drag a human off the bank, but it will drag a small child off the bank and right into the water. That's what they do. They just bring you underwater first before they actually start eating. And they don't chew their food. Alligators swallow everything whole. So if they grab something too large to swallow at one time, then the alligator will use its teeth, its jaws, its body, and rip its victim into pieces, swallowing the smaller pieces. So this is one I didn't see this morning or at noon. It changed every hour is different out here. Some of these alligators will work a 6 in the morning to noon shift, and when the fall will come in, so it's always different out here. Now before I get out of this area, let me show you the other type of wetland. I showed you the marsh, but remember we're in a freshwater area, so we don't have a lot of marsh in our fresh waters. Look behind this marsh in the background. The tallest trees you see back there, those are bald cypress trees. Bald cypress are the largest wetland trees in southeastern United States. And they're also the Louisiana state tree. And according to scientists, bald cypress trees can exist anywhere from 500 to 1,200 years. They can last this long because of all of the natural preservatives that can be found in the wood of the tree. These natural preservatives will keep the tree from rotting, keeps it from getting waterlogged, and also it keeps termites off of the tree. Now where those bald cypress trees are, that is a swamp wetland. Swamp has trees in it. Marshland doesn't. Marsh will have grass and small shrubbery, no trees, because the soil in a marsh wetland is just too soft to support any type of heavy trees. In the background, that swamp, that's walkable. You're going to sink in it, but it is walkable. The marsh on my left, this is a type of marsh that's not walkable. This grass you're looking at, known as sawgrass, is growing out of a slush of soil that's 5 to maybe 8 feet deep. And if you were to jump into it from this boat, you're just going to simply sink right through it. You're going to drown, not in water, you're going to drown in a slush of mud. Because the water that we're in right now is the same water going through this marsh, and it's the same water that can be found in that swamp. And that swamp and marsh, folks, we don't live in these areas. I know on TV they'll always show anyone from Louisiana is living out in an area like this. The movie The Water Boy. How many of you all saw that movie? Bobby Boucher and his mom. Where do they show them living? In a shack deep in the swamp. We do not live like that, okay? If you think you're coming down here today to see us living like that, well, I'm sorry. You're not going to see that. My generation never did live in the swamp or marsh. Neither did my parents. Now, my grandmothers did. Both of my grandmothers were 100% Cajuns by bloodline. They were born in areas 18, 20 miles south of here. Their lifestyle was like that of Bobby Boucher and his mom.